Hello, everyone. I am super excited to be here with my good friend, Wendy Melrose. Wendy, how are you doing today?
I'm great, thanks.
This is going to be awesome. Appreciate you taking some time this afternoon. Kind of official announcement launch. So, do you want to get right into it here?
Let's go.
All right. Well, let's talk about the Legacy Writing Mastery course. You have conquered life's toughest challenges, and now it's time to turn your victory into lasting legacy. Legacy Writing Mastery is an 8-week guided program that takes you from idea to a polished, published, ready manuscript.
With structured weekly lessons, live coaching, interactive Zooms, and built in accountability, you will not just write a book. You'll create a message that inspires, influences, and lasts for generations.
And by the end, you'll have a fully written, edited, and formatted manuscript, plus the clarity to use your book to By the end, you'll have a fully written, edited, and formatted manuscript, plus the clarity to use your book to expand your reach, whether through speaking, coaching, or building your brand.
So the total value of over $6,490, your price just $1,497. Plus there's options for 2-pay.
Ooh, awesome. Wow. Ready to make an impact? Spots are limited in this course, so secure your spot today and let's build your legacy one page at a time. Very, very good. Man, it's out there. We've launched it, Wendy. This is really exciting. We'll see if we get some other people joining us here in the live, because we're doing this live as well, kind of fun at the same time. But let's dive into some more of the details of this. Obviously, we've got the taste, and we're all excited, and hopefully people are heading over to osg.link/legacy right now to check it out. But let's talk more about it, Wendy. Where should we start?
We're going to start. Obviously, this is going to be an 8-week breakdown with assignments on every Friday. And why are we going to do it that way? It's because we want to make sure that you have this vision. And so often I hear, how long does it take to write a book? Does it take years?
Yeah.
It only takes years if that's how long it takes you, because you set it back into the back and you don't pick it back up again and keep writing, right? Or life happens. We understand how life happens, but our goal is to help you navigate the waters. We're both published authors, and we know what it takes to go from start to finish. So we wanted to create a way for you to be able to do the same thing. And there is a guarantee. So if you're not done by the end of the 8 weeks, we work with you until you are finished. Because we do know life happens, right? So we want to encourage you. We want to pray with you. We want to motivate you. But we also want you to feel encouraged and motivated to complete the book.
Yes, indeed. And that's what I'm so excited about. I love what you do and how you formulated this breakdown of getting a book from start to finish. And then I get to bring my superpower in of the accountability and meeting people where they're at. Because as you said, life happens, but we certainly can motivate you, and we can certainly find ways to overcome the excuses or justifications that we make. And the reason why I'm so excited about this, Wendy, is that was me. I wanted to be an author forever and ever and ever. And it wasn't until I decided to be fully accountable to it that I finally wrote a book. And then I met you. So I wish I had done that before. But now that I know you and your process and formula, right, I've wrote a second book with my wife. And man, it's like you said, the legacy that we get to leave with this, incredible.
Right. And this applies not only to those who have overcome something in life.
Yeah.
So a lot of the stories that I do with authors is that they're writing their overcomer story. This can also be a book within your business world too, because we all know that there are pain points of our audience that whether we're coaches or speakers, that we can identify with, that we've been through ourselves, but we're on the other side, right? And so those are the stories that Aaron and I want to help you write, to use either to attract your ideal client, to share your legacy with your family or the world. And so, yeah.
Yeah, I love it. And I love that you mentioned that, Wendy, because I didn't have an overcomer story as far as I knew until I started writing the book, right? And not that I have this big overcomer story. In fact, I even start off my book saying, okay, here's the deal. I didn't hit rock bottom, right? But I went the other way. I hid, I kept myself safe, and I didn't put myself out there. And
Mm,
so um, I think it's so important that we do get our story out there, that we do share that legacy, even if we don't feel like we do have this, oh my gosh, rock bottom story. You've got a legacy, you've got something to leave behind. And right, the opportunity, right? So this is my book that I was able to create, and a mentor of mine told me, you're not going to make a living selling the book. You're going to make a living teaching the book. Right?
mhm.
It gives you a format of foundation. So if you're a business owner out there, this is probably one of the best tools that you'll be able to have. And Wendy breaks that down for us and shows us how we can utilize that. It's really, really cool.
Yeah, and one of the things that I wanted to make sure you guys understood is that we are people of faith, and so anytime we say yes to the Lord, all of a sudden you can find yourself finding resistance. The kids are more involved, or your spouse, you guys don't seem to get along, or you have some personal like major like,
Yeah.
what do you think you're doing? You're not smart enough to write a book. Whatever the barricades and blocks, that's where Aaron comes in to help you through that. It's where I come in to pray over you, because this is more than just a physical writing of our book. It's also a spiritual journey, and sometimes there's situations where the people that are closest to us aren't always the most supportive to the calling of writing that book. And so that's where we can help walk you through it, so you're not alone.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love that you brought up the faith aspect of this, because God is putting something on your heart.
Mm-hmm.
And when he is, it's our job to take action. In the course of writing my book, I was about halfway through it. I had my first real draft done, and I was really excited about it. And at the same time, my wife lost her father. And so I had all of the justifications in the world. The devil was trying to get me to keep my story to myself, and through support of people and learning and understanding about accountability, which now I get to share, I was able to take, and even from that first draft, I kind of redid it at that point. And so I completed my book in a very short time frame, because I stopped listening to the noise and I just listened to what God was trying to tell me to do.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I tell people that's like when we are writing and the Holy Spirit writes in and through us, we become outside time, and a book can be done really quickly. I was able to write and self-publish 6 books in a year. I've
Wow.
helped 5 authors. Last year from May till December, I've already helped 3 this year, about to help 2 more. And so here's the thing: the only person that's going to get in your way is going to be yourself. And that's why Aaron is such a pivotal piece to this accountability journey.
Oh, wow. Well, thank you. And I sit here and say, wow, because I knew all these things, and it still just blows me away how many people you've helped. But again, you've created this beautiful program that in 8 weeks you can get everything done. So I think it's really incredible. I'm really excited for people to check it out. In fact, if you want to head over to osg.link/legacy, you can see where it starts. Wendy, let's talk about the details of this a little bit more. When does it start? What does this look like? Let's get into a little bit more of the nitty gritty here.
Sure. So, um, if you were to purchase today or anytime before March 1st, you get access to the course on March 3rd. So that's when we're going to start having the weekly Facebook Lives and weekly Zooms. And also with this program, you will get a personalized program coaching call with me. So you get one, excuse me,
Yeah.
one brief second.
Yeah. Let's have a drink of water there.
Yeah, so you can you get a call with me, whether you want that at the beginning with a vision session, or do you want that more in the middle when you feel like you might be like, I'm not sure. So and then I'm trying to pull up a calendar here. I'm having a difficulty because probably it's over here. Here we go. All right. So if we start March 3rd, so we'll have, if it's 8 weeks, so that would take us, I think, almost to May, right?
Yep.
So we're going to, and we also want to make sure that some things, even though in chronological order, we will probably also start some things earlier. So we know that if we want to put it to where it's launched on Amazon by the 8th week, we want to keep in mind, we want to make sure we've got cover design going, right? We all want to make sure our marketing is going.
Yep.
So we'll give marketing space. So maybe like, why are we talking about this so early? And I don't even have the outline finished yet. So anytime, and it was just brought to me today in another network I'm a part of, that when Hollywood goes to release a movie, they're not finished with the movie when they start talking about it.
Yeah.
And I remember back, and this is going to be a 90s thing, but one of my most favorite movies is The Matrix. I remember learning about this movie coming out in the summer of 97. I thought it came out in 97. It did not come out till 99. They talked about it for 2 years. So I am not saying we have to talk about the book for 2 years, but we're going to start talking about it right away. So
yeah,
pretty exciting.
And Wendy, I think the cool part about that, right? You've published so many books. I've got my 2 books that I've done so far with more kind of inside me. And to understand that part is really crucial, because part of the accountability is going to be me encouraging you to share this with your community, with your world, right? So maybe it's just a mocked up cover to start and getting it out there. Honestly, that was one of the best decisions I ever made, was to just go, you know what? I'm still in the outline phase, but I want to see this thing. I want to visualize it. And so I just mocked up a book cover and I started sharing it with everyone. And I've got a really good friend of mine who's an art guy and like really good at art and design and all the other stuff. And I shared it with him, and in the nicest way possible, he said, "It's not great." And I'm like, "I know, but that's the best I can do." And he said, "Well, maybe I could do it for you." And I said, "Okay." And then and I said, "Okay." But I don't think I can afford it. And he says, "You know what? You're so passionate about this. I'm just going to do it for you." Right. And so, yes, not everybody's going to do it for you. But when we start sharing and we start making this vision a reality, that's how the books actually happen. It's never going to go exactly the way you thought it is, but we're going to give you an 8-week program that will give you the guardrails to get from point A to point B and have all the things come and fall into place as we go through the process.
Right. And so we will have opportunity for you, if creativity isn't your thing, for you to upgrade, to hire someone for formatting and editing. Well, and editing, I'm still working on that piece. My main thing is we can do our own editing, and I will teach you how. But I meant to say formatting and cover design, because I want to make sure you enjoy this process and you don't hate anything about it. So if you're like, I really want to hire someone to do the cover, then you can hire someone. You can use who we can provide, or you can use other people. But what you want to make sure is that it is what you want, your vision, your heart, the style, that the title that you're coming to the table with might actually change by the end of the entire process, because we're also going to teach you, when you have the heart and the story, then what I like to share that I learned from Dallas Amston is the pain to the promise. When we get that flowing going, sometimes the title might change, because we want to make sure that when someone picks up the book and reads the title and the tagline and in the description, that they want to open it. They don't go, I mean, Amazon in of itself, we didn't know what Amazon was when it first came out, right?
Yeah.
They had to explain it to us.
Yes.
Well, we don't want that to happen when someone picks up your book.
Yes, absolutely. So good. So good. So good. So, all right, Wendy. Yeah. The thing that I love to be a part of are places where we get to do things, right? I'm anti have to. We're not going to give you anything that you have to do. We're going to help you see that you get to do this. You get to share this vision of yours and get it to come to life. And I love what you've titled this, Legacy Writing Mastery, because that's what it's all about. You get to share your gift with the world. This book right here, The Gratitude Shift, my wife's superpower is gratitude. And she taught that to me. And she said, "Hey, I want to write a book." And I said, "Hey, I'm an author. Let's figure this out." Right. And so being able to do that, to get that legacy out there, was so crucial. But like you said, we have to understand how to get from point A to point B. You've been through the process, laid it out. I've been through the process of making sure that it gets done and pushing it to the finish line. And together we make an awesome team. And I'm super excited for the limited number of people, because we can only work with a certain number of people when we're doing these Zoom calls, and you're doing one-on-one calls with them and things like that. So get signed up, right? This sooner the better is the way we're looking at this.
Right. And so I'm also want to let you know with this is kind of our launch program.
Mm-hmm.
And we wanted to make sure that you guys had extra little bonuses as well. So we wanted you to have anyone that does sign up before the March class, you will, when your book is finished, you will get access on my website, the inthezone.live website, as well as we will announce it on social media. We'll do a social media live, right?
Yep.
You'll also get templates.
I love it.
Templates for you to start talking about your book now. So even if you didn't want to have
Yep.
a like a book cover that someone might go, I'm not sure that's really good. We could actually do something fun, and I have I actually have it over here.
Cool.
It's a blank book, right?
Oh,
And
nice.
you could just say like coming
Yeah.
soon and
A
have your
mock-up.
name down here, right?
Oh,
And
that's
have
super
some
cool.
fun graphics with that. And people will get excited. You want to know why people get excited? Because most of the people on this planet have always wanted to write a book. 1% will do so.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Because they don't make it a priority. Or like one of my clients, she's literally finishing up her book as she's on hospice, getting her morphine at
Yeah.
the end of her life. And we just did a Facebook Live on my social. So
Yeah.
go to Facebook, go to Wendy Melrose, and you can scroll down. It'll say author copy reveal with Deanna Cotton. And I share this because she even says, do not delay. She already had her book started, then got diagnosed with ALS, right? We never know when our time may get a terminal illness
Yeah.
diagnosis. It isn't for all of us. No, all of us are going to go that way, but we all have what she calls a D day, right? So if it's something that is on your bucket list of something you've always wanted to do, we wanted to create this program as a way for you to be able to check that bucket list item off to be able to share your legacy. And
Yeah.
one more thing I wanted to share is that we will also have a private legacy mastermind group for you to be in part of even after the book, because you may have another idea, or you might be going, well, I reached out to these people, or I reached out to the Rotary, or I reached out, and you want to do more speaking, right?
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
can always have guests in that mastermind who use their books as ways for business cards or to sell at the back of the room, because when the book by itself is just a piece of paper, but when we use it as a tool, the options are unlimited.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that is really important, right? That you then become part of this community where my motto is a rising tide lifts all boats. And so we're going to all be in that community because, yeah, it's going to be awesome when you have that book in your hand. But then what's next, right? And we're going to give you plenty of those things that you can do with it. But then to be able to then access people where you can bounce ideas and go, okay, I'm trying to get more, like you said, more speaking gigs. So I want to turn this into a course, right? So you're going to have people that have done that, including us in that community that will be there for you.
Right.
And then the other thing I wanted to share is because of the fact that this is 8 weeks, right? You're going to feel at times like you're drinking water through a fire hose, which is a good thing. I at first thought, oh my gosh, when I was doing this, I needed to do all these things, and I really felt overwhelmed. The reality is, all of the parts and pieces are there, and so that momentum keeps you in action. Right? And so having access to people like Wendy and whatnot is so crucial for us. And again, I wish that I would have found Wendy before I completed my book. But when I found Wendy, I knew that this is somebody I wanted to be around because I knew that we could make an impact, and God was telling us. So this has been a really cool experience to build this together, and I can't wait for the first book to get published.
It's going to be fun.
Absolutely. So well, I guess one more thing, one more question that you and I were talking about a little bit before. This is so exciting because it's all coming together and kind of in the moment almost at times it feels like, because we're so excited about it. We keep doing all these things like, should we add this? Like, it's super cool. But you mentioned about a guarantee,
Mhm.
and obviously that's near and dear to my heart too, because I want to make an impact. We don't care about taking your money. We want to make an impact. So
Right.
tell people about that guarantee.
So the guarantee is if you will finish the book and have it ready on Amazon in 8 weeks. And if you don't, we work with you until it is. And that's where we really wanted to make sure that we kept our side of the bargain
Yeah.
because, it's important to us that you are able to say, I am an author.
Absolutely, absolutely. And Wendy, I think the thing that really stands out to me is 8 weeks. You're going to have a book, guaranteed, right? And when I was first out there trying to figure out how to write a book, I mean, I can't tell you how many calls I had with different people and different coaches, and I mean, I probably spent more time doing that than I did writing my book. And inevitably it was, oh yeah, for only $20,000, for only $15,000. I mean, there were some numbers and I was like, wait a second, are you going to write the whole thing for me? No, no, we're just going to make sure that you get it to Amazon. I'm like, cool. No, thank you. Right. So, when, we were talking about the value in this. I mean, we're talking at least $6,500 worth of value, at least. And if you're signing up now, and we're going to get to that point where we know that the value is there. As we kick this off, though, I think people are going to need to take advantage for only less than $1,500. I mean, if, like I said, I wish I would have found you before. I would have been like, okay, where do I put my credit card?
Well, and one of the biggest things I want everybody to remember is we're not asking for any back end royalties. I've had it where people
Mm,
have been like, oh, it's for, yeah, I'll help you for $1,000, but I'm also going to take everything. You'll get 40 cents per book. No. So that's something you need to keep in mind. And also, we're not running here to help you become a number one bestseller vanity project either.
yeah,
And I say it that way because you would have to ask everyone to buy on one day. We'd have to have the categories just right. You'd have to do cover studies. I'm a part of a group where they do really well on Amazon, but you don't write a book that's near and dear to your heart. You write a book that Amazon people are looking for on Amazon. You write in that space. So
yeah,
it could be about keto cooking and your heart is to write about how you overcame a childhood abuse and are now $1 million business owner, right? So my point is that you're not going to be writing if you do that way. Oh my gosh, this is all bumbly umbly, sorry.
you're fine.
But
We're
also
so
the point
excited
is,
about it. It's hard to get it all out.
well, I just want to make sure people understand this. We're not going after the trophy for all, which is what the number one bestseller process has become.
Yeah,
We're looking at creating impact. You can still do great when it comes to, like you said, we're not looking to earn a living off the book sales. It's a $3, $4 royalty, guys.
mhm,
You know
mhm,
how many books you have to sell to pay your mortgage?
yeah,
So do
yeah,
the math.
yeah,
Instead, look at it, okay, so here's a $4 book, but it helps you find a client or it helps you land a not coaching, but speaking event, right? So that's what we're really going for.
yeah,
Or is it just something you've always wanted to do and you wanted someone to help you through it?
yeah, absolutely. Yep. And that's exactly it. If you are somebody that has something on your heart, God's leading you to share with the world, a book is a fantastic way to do that. And once you have that book, it's going to open up all sorts of other opportunities. And like the experience of writing this book, I was out doing a speaking gig and I happened to have my books with me. And I had somebody ask me for an autograph in it. They wanted me to sign it. That blew me away. Right.
Yeah.
But it was so cool because I knew that I could make an impact in their lives, that I was giving them something that they could utilize. And I was also building that relationship with them that they knew they could come and ask me for help later on too. So the book is so much more like, again, if your idea is to be an Amazon number one bestseller, hey, that's awesome for you. Is it really going to make an impact? Probably not. So we're about impact. We're about helping you create a book. We're not a publishing company or anything like that. We're just here to guide you in 8 weeks to go from idea into you got a book in your hand. Right? Like,
That's
it's
right. It's a
super cool.
tangible book. And I've heard about programs where they just help you with the manuscript. It's more than just the little pages here. It's an actual physical book. Aaron, show them again.
Yep. Physical book in your hand. Like, I can bend it. I can, fold a corner over, right? So, all right. Well, really cool. Let's real quick, one more time here. Go to osg.link/legacy, and you can check out more information there. Reach out to either Wendy or I, and we're happy to talk through it with you. Again, we want people in here that want to complete a book. So we're not trying to get hundreds and thousands of people to just give us money. Don't care about that. We want people in here that are going to create a book from their heart and get it done in 8 weeks and are ready to be the next author.
That's right.
Awesome. All right. Anything that we missed, Wendy?
I don't think so. If you guys ever have any questions, just feel free to, write comments, on the page, or you message us. Find us on social media. We're both very easy to find.
Yep.
And we're happy to answer any questions you have. You can even schedule a face-to-face Zoom with me if you want. No big deal.
Yep, totally. Awesome. Well, Wendy, I'm really excited to do this with you. Thank you so much for letting me be a part of this program with you. And I'm just visualizing these authors creating a legacy for themselves and their families, to be honest with you. So
yeah, it's going to be amazing.
Yep. So we'll see you guys on March 3rd.